Hello, everyone. I'm Adam with D&D Beyond, and thank you for joining me for this week's Dev Update and Community Q&A session. Let's jump right in with today's lineup. Latest updates we'll cover. Got a lot of work going on right now. We're going to give you the latest scoop on how all that's going. Upcoming, we've got, I've heard about something called Tech Talk, I think it's called out there. So I might be slightly wrong on that because I definitely don't really know what it is, but we're going to do something very special from a technical perspective on next week's dev update. So I'll share some news about that in a little bit. And then we've got some new stream shows that we're going to cover and announce this week too. So very excited about all that. And as always, ask me anything. No question is off limits, really. Unless it's completely inappropriate or something, but any kind of other question I am game to answer. You can ask those in chat right now by just typing question and then following that with whatever you would like to ask. So latest updates, class feature variants. Let me make sure that I've got everything pulled up here where if I get pinged, I'm going to know about it. There we go. Class feature variants are dependent on some of the framework updates that we're putting out right now, but that is something that we have completed the conceptualization and we're getting ready to put everything in place as soon as the next item on the list, the character sheet framework updates go out. So far, so good. Everything is going okay. This has been a phased rollout. So some of you on the forums have caught this, that you see that there is now a version numbering on your character sheet when you look in certain places. And this is all to indicate to us whether you're on the new version of the sheet or not. This is supposed to be a seamless change. So hopefully you're not going to notice that anything is actually changing for you, because this is all just laying the groundwork for a lot of other changes that are to come. And so, but this has been rolling out. It went to internal employees and moderators first, and that is complete. We got up to 5% of our users phased out last week. That's done. We are now trying to get all of our subscribers onto the new version of the sheet. And that is pretty strategic for us because we're trying to get subscribers onto that new version where some of the new exciting things that are hitting alpha very soon will be possible, and they are things that we can release. So that's kind of where we are with some of these framework updates. Everything is moving forward very well, and this sets us up very well for the future and for some of the things that we want to do. So the player mobile app, that actually some of you are going to start getting invites, and this is random, by the way. Some of you are going to start getting invites to the alpha even today, I believe. So keep eyes out for the email that you signed up with when we put that form out a few weeks ago. But ultimately, you'll start getting invites to the player-based character sheet app, and it will have all the instructions that you need to start joining in on that. So that is also going to be a phased rollout. With all the new framework in place, we want to make sure that we don't have, thousands and thousands of people hitting that framework and causing problems for the overall 26 million characters that we have out there. So even the mobile app alpha is going to be a phased rollout, but you will be, if you were on that list, and as long as you use the correct email address and all of that when you signed up, you will be getting invites to that very soon. And some of you are going to start seeing that as early as today. So check it out. When the alpha comes to you, go out there, kick the tires, let us know what you think. This is, of course, as always with these alphas, an early version of what we're looking at. We have a very defined list of what we want to complete during the alpha, things like being sure that you can update all the things that you need to update during a session, but we want to see your feedback and we want to respond to that as that feedback comes in. So there will be a forum thread, I think a sub forum in our feedback and testing area of the forums that you can share feedback about the alpha once you do get in, once you download it, and once you try it out. And as always, other outlets like Discord are places where you can share that feedback as well, and we'll be monitoring those outlets too. Digital Dice, is getting very, very close. So this has rolled out internally now. So the way that this typically goes is we get something for a few of the users. Typically, it's the team that's working on something first. They get access. They start really using the feature and the tool, and then it rolls out to progressively more people inside the organization. At this point, internally, the dice have been turned on for everyone, and everyone is. Some of the people are getting to experience this for the first time. Lots of excitement internally. This is getting very, very close to coming to you as well. So keep an eye out for that very, very soon. Also, because this character sheet framework work is enabling those things to finally be in your hands. And we're very excited about that. Also, quarantine resources. So, we're going to have a new section on the site pop up as of next week. But this week, we have released Lost Mine of Phandelver, which is the excellent adventure that is part of the starter kit that is the starter set that Dungeons and Dragons put together very early in the life cycle of 5th edition. And Lost Mine of Phandelver is considered by many people to be one of the best adventures in 5th edition, and also definitely one of the best starting points. And so this is something that you can access for the next 30 days. This is something we've been working with Wizards of the Coast. They are doing a stay at home, play at home initiative, and lots of free content is coming out for D&D as part of that initiative. Lost Mine of Phandelver is one of those. We are also participating, can't quite share yet exactly what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, but we're participating in some other ways, and you're going to see some more free content that you can access to try out for 30 days coming your way in the next couple of weeks. So again, keep eyes peeled. Lots and lots is going to be happening in just this next month or so. So lots of excitement internally here. And of course, we are all probably at a point right now. I think it hit me this week in particular where I started getting a little bit stir crazy. I actually, for a little while there, a few weeks, was a little thankful that I didn't have to get into the hustle and bustle of going into the office every day. Certainly at this point in time, getting to a point where I wouldn't mind maybe getting out and about and seeing some of you, some of the other people out there that I care about. So as we are all weathering this storm, and as we're trying to shelter in place and social distance, and we're in this quarantine, it is a great time to play games. So I encourage everybody to be trying out new things out there. And some of this free content is a great way for you to do that. So upcoming, so Digital Dice, talking about post alpha here. So even post alpha, we've got a lot of exciting plans for Digital Dice. And in a time where people are playing remotely more than ever, this is something that we certainly want to prioritize, and something that we want to make to where when you're rolling dice, you'll see in the alpha, this is something that really is intended to replace the experience of you rolling physical dice for yourself at the table. But we want this to start getting connected to other players that you're sharing a session with, and all of that. So that's stuff that we will be doing. This general feature system that I've talked about before, this is again something that will be enabled by all the character sheet framework changes that we're making. But this is a very, very important system that we're looking at, because essentially we're trying to get to a point where our coverage of the ever changing and ever additional rules that are coming out with new books, where we can keep pace with what's going on. And this system is going to be a very important part of that. It's going to allow us to kind of continue to make sure that we shore up some of the gaps in our rules coverage that have happened in the last year, especially as book after book have introduced new concepts and new rules. And so we're going to be playing a strong game of catch up here, and this general feature system is going to be a big part of that. Mythic Odysseys of Theros on June the 2nd. Very excited about that book. I have read it word for word at this point. It's one of, no spoilers, but it's one of my favorite books that has come out in 5th edition. I seriously would probably put it in my top 3 at least, and it might even be higher than that with subsequent readings. Now, given that everyone has biases and subjectivity, I am a big fan of classic Greek myth and a lot of the things that have inspired this Theros setting, but it definitely is one of my favorites. So tech talk, like I said, I think that's a thing I hear out there all the time. But our dev update next week is going to be a special one. We have gotten this request a few times I don't want to act like it's been an overwhelming response, because the truth is many of you out there watching are not engineers, but we do have a passionate vocal contingent of engineers out there that watch. And so we are going to, I think, occasionally bring on our chief architect, Dave Hartless, to maybe get a little more technical than we typically would in a dev update like this right here. So again, if you're not technical, it'll be okay. Some of it might not completely strike a chord with you. This is something that we're going to do, maybe once a quarter is what we're looking at. But Dave is going to be on next week. And if you are a developer and engineer out there, and you've been really wondering things about DDB's tech stack, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with this character sheet framework rollout and all these updates that we're making. And Dave is also going to be able to answer questions. So next week, you can ask questions that are more, kind of product related or anything else, feature related. I can answer those. But if you have ever wanted to ask very in the weeds technical questions, next week's dev update is going to be a perfect opportunity for you to do that, as Dave is going to join me on the stream. So keep that in mind, mark your calendars, and we can, hopefully we'll see how this goes, and we'll see if there's a lot of interest. We'll do that a little more frequently. But either way, I think it's going to be a great place for you to see what's going on from the very technical side of DDB, but then also a great way for you to ask questions that you've had in the past that I am not the best suited to answer. New stream shows on Twitch. So we have a lot of new shows coming your way, and the timing is really great. Lots of these were in development well before what's going on with quarantines, but it still is good timing because we are home more frequently, and perhaps we have a little more time to watch some of this content. So one of those Thursdays at noon Pacific is Builds Character, and this is where Todd is going to be joining guests and going through concepts for characters all the way through building that character in D&D Beyond and just talking about character creation. So there are many of you out there who just love creating characters and love, hopefully playing those characters. Some of you are creating characters that are never going to be played because we don't, as human beings, have enough hours in the day to play all the characters that are being created. But either way, whether you want ideas for a game where you're going to actually play a character, or whether you're just fascinated with the rules and want to build characters, this is a great place for you to tune in and be able to see, Todd and some guests go through concept way to creation of that character. We also announced yesterday that we have a new show called Silver and Steel, and we are joined by Dungeon Master Jasmine Bular, that Bronze Girl, B. Dave Walters, Megan Kendrick, Todd Kenrick, and Lauren Obo Urban. You know her. She's probably in chat right now, I think. And so all of those folks are coming together to do a new show. B. Dave Walters, well, never mind. I'm not going to share spoilers if you haven't caught up with what's going on with all of our other shows. So, but it's going to be a great show, Silver and Steel, and that starts, I believe, next week. Somebody confirm that in chat. Yeah, next week, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. on the D&D Beyond Twitch channel. So join in there. And then finally, we are really excited to announce today that we are partnering with Direct Relief, which is a great charity that is really doing a lot of good in the world today, especially with what's going on with the pandemic crisis. But we are going to start a 6-episode limited series next Thursday at 3 p.m. So the idea here, Roll in the Family, The Slumbering Forest, Brennan Mulligan of Dimension 20 fame. He's incredible. He is going to be dungeon mastering three parents playing with their children. So I'm going to be participating in the show. I'm going to be playing with my son Luke. We have Kelly Knox, who is a freelance writer for IGN, Star Wars, Geek and Sundry, a variety of other outlets. She really does an incredible job out there, and she's going to be joining her daughter Maddie. And then B. Dave Walters is going to be playing with his daughters Kaylin and Lexi. So this is going to be a family-friendly, family-focused show. It is going to have a deep fairy tale vibe, which should be very heroic and wholesome and fun for everyone out there. So we know that many children are staying at home now. They're not able to go to schools. They're doing everything online with their classes, and so we wanted to do something that is hopefully going to illustrate how easy it is for parents to get together with their kids and play some D&D. And so this is going to be a really great introduction to D&D for your kids. If they have never played, they'll be able to see kids their own age out there playing and playing with parents. So we're really excited about this show, really excited that Brennan is participating. And I do want to clarify that everybody on the show is doing this pro bono. So again, this is all for charity. Everyone's donating time to make this happen and to make some great content for a really great cause. So definitely tune in there. If you can't catch it live, catch it on the VOD, because I think this is a really special angle that hasn't been really explored very much in the D&D streaming space, and that is families playing together and kids being able to play. And again, this is going to be very PG, so it's not going to be anything, if you have children that want to watch some of the other stream shows out there, but it's a little risky to do that. This one should be a great place for them to be able to tune in and see some great content.